Alright, first things first. No one can ever question the dedication that I have for YouTube and you guys. The guys who's constantly showing up and supporting the channel. No one can ever question the dedication I have. I'm in a hot car. I got the freaking door open, sweating bullets, as you can see, just to drop this. Cars is, look, I'm here for you. So without further ado, so that my phone don't overheat for like the 5th time, let's hop into it. Now, I do want to say, before I break down this car, I love this car because it adds so much suspense. Because the thing I love the most about this car is that no fight is guaranteed. No fight, I don't care what you say, no fight is guaranteed. From Terence Crawford, as hard as that to even say, that fight ain't even guaranteed because all of the opponents are good opponents. This is a must-see TV type of card. So you best believe I'm calling it. All right, so first things first. We have Andy Cruz versus Antonio Moran. I don't know, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know his opponent like that. I'm going with Andy Cruz just off of the strength that I don't know his opponent too much. Besides the fact that Haney knocked this man out in the 6th or 7th round. So if Devin Haney is knocking you out, I know Andy Cruz has an opportunity to knock you out. And speaking of Andy Cruz, isn't it so inspiring how a year or two ago we was just talking about Andy Cruz and how good he could be if he would have turned pro? Fast forward to now, he's pro. I believe this is Andy's 3rd or 4th fight. It's inspiring, honestly. However, I do want to see him and Keyshawn Davis in the pros. We got to see that sometime down the line. Keyshawn Davis and Andy Cruz in the pros. We have to see that. We have to see. I mean, come on now. Keyshawn, he could never beat Andy in the amateurs. Now that he's pro, we have to see it in the pros. We have to see it. But next on the list, we got David going against Hot Rod. I'm going with David because I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know Hot Rod that much besides the fact that he was on a pro box card earlier this year, and when he knocked somebody out of the ring on that particular card, that's about it. But this is David's debut as a 175 pounder. For those who don't know, David is actually a natural 175 pounder. He went down to super middleweight because he felt like there were more opportunities at that weight class versus light heavyweight. Especially now, I definitely think there are a lot more opportunities at light heavyweight than there is at 168, especially with Benavidez going up as well. I believe that is a fight that needs to happen, and that fight, I believe before Benavidez at least retire, that fight needs to happen. You know, but anyway, I'm going with David. Oh, in my picks, I got Andy Cruz stopping Antonio in 5, and I got David stopping Hot Rod 5, 6. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think those first 2 fights is going to end in stoppages. Now, this is where it gets dark, and this is why I say no fight is guaranteed. Jared Anderson versus Martin Bakole. I like Jared Anderson. I believe he is a future bright heavyweight. Here's the only thing that gives me the fears with Jared Anderson. He likes to lean back, especially on defense. He likes to lean back and put all his weight on that back leg. And from the face-off, at least, Martin Bakole is taller than Anderson. And from what I was seeing, he has a really good right hand. And the thing about when you lean back is not only do Jared lean back, he leans back, hands down, and your head is right in the center line for a right hand. That's the only thing that gets me about that fight. Other than that, I think Jared Anderson could probably outbox Bakole. But here's the thing. Now that Jared Anderson is with Sugar Hill, I believe, hopefully, I ain't gonna say I believe, but hopefully Sugar Hill cleans that up, that leaning back, you know, hopefully he cleans that up. Because if he cleans that up, I don't know, I mean, I don't know if Jared could stop Bakole, because I don't think he's been stopped before. I think he lost on the cards. But, I mean, if he could stop him, hey, he could stop him. But other than that, I probably would go Jared Anderson. Probably unanimous. I think it goes on the cards. I don't think Jared would stop Bakole, but I could be wrong. But that's my pick. I'm going with Anderson on the cards. So next up, we got Andy Ruiz versus Jarrell Miller. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna keep this short and sweet because the fight that I'm most excited about is after this. A part of me is saying Andy. I think Andy is a better skillful fighter than Jarrell. My only thing about Andy is that he's been out of the ring for too long. Like I think Andy hasn't fought since 2022, if I'm not mistaken. He's been out of the ring for a minute. And that ring rust can catch up to you. I mean, as Stephen Fulton had said, inactivity is what's hurting these fighters. These fighters don't fight enough. And Andy is a prime example of that. He hasn't fought in 2 years. That can hurt you, bro. I think he's a better fighter, but because of that ring rust, I just don't know how he's going to perform. So I'm going to go with a safe pick and say... I'm going Andy on the cards. I'm going Andy on the card. Maybe a split. I'm going Andy on the cards, though. But after all of that, this is the fight I'm really excited about. Pitbull Cruz versus Jose Valenzuela. I ain't gonna lie. This is my pick for fight of the night. I think this is gonna be fight of the night, bro. Pitbull Cruz. Because, okay, this is what gets me. I'm sweating bullets, bro. This is what gets me, though. I don't know what are their approach to the fight. That's the only thing that's getting me. Because we know Pitbull Cruz. Pitbull ain't taking a step back. He ain't taking a step back. We know that. But I don't know if Jose has the pedigree to box on the back foot. I don't know if, especially, okay. Here's my thing. Pitbull Cruz, him being a smaller fighter, people really underestimate his defense. Pitbull has really nice defense. For, him being so short, he has really decent defense. I ain't gonna lie. But the thing about Jose is strong. At least versus Chris Colbert. I mean, hey, as you see in the first fight, he caught Chris in like the first few seconds of the fight. Like, he ain't just catch Chris Colbert. He made Chris Colbert do a somersault in the ring. Like, bro, I'm talking about first punch he threw, dropped him. So as much as I'm going, okay, first things first, this fight ain't going to the car. Somebody getting stopped. That I know for a fact. This fight ain't going to the car. Somebody's getting stopped. I just don't know who. I'm going with Pitbull because I know Pitbull more. I watched him in his last fight. And then I watched his fight against Tank. He was really defending Tank well. Even though I know Tank only had one hand, but he was giving Tank everything he could ask for. So, but I know Jose is so strong. Okay, this is what I'll say. This is my prediction. I'm going with Pitbull Cruz. I'm going with Pitbull late, though. I'll say 6 through 9, he could stop Jose. The later the fight, the more it favors Pitbull Cruz. The earlier the fight, though, the more it favors Jose. Because Jose can swat. And this is his weight. Cruz, he's coming up in weight. This is Jose's weight. So the longer the fight, the more it favors Pitbull because Pitbull is more of a guy who breaks you down over time. He's not really a one-punch knockout type of guy. Jose is. Well, Jose, he can catch you and he can hurt you. So the later the fight, the more it favors Pitbull. The earlier the fight, it will favor Jose. But I'm going with Pitbull 6 through 9. I think he can stop. I think he can stop Jose 6 through 9-ish. And then for the Terence Crawford Israil Madrimov fight. Obviously, I got Bud in 10 actually. But I don't know. This kind of gives me like that Sean Porter, Terence Crawford type of vibe. I feel like the fight will kind of be a back and forth because understand how Bud works. Bud takes a few rounds to really calculate and to really figure out what his opponent likes to do, and then once he figures you out, it's over. So with that being said, I'm going with Bud in 10. I think Israil, he's going to put up a good performance. I think he's going to do well, at least in the first half of the fight, because again, Bud takes a long time. Bud takes at least the first half of the fight to find out how does his opponent like to fight, what range do he prefer, and things of that sort. What punch do he favor, and just things of that sort, and just finding out his mistakes, his opponents, you know, their mistakes and things of that sort, and then Bud doing what he does best and takes over. The only fight where Bud really didn't take the first half of the fight to find out what his opponent liked to do, it was the Spence fight. He pretty much knew what Spence was trying to do in like the first 2 rounds, because in the second round he knocked down Spence. So that's really the only fight where Bud didn't take 5 or 6 rounds to find out his opponent, but after that he was cooking Spence. But I do believe it's that type of ordeal. I think it will be similar to that Sean Porter type fight where Israil will have success at least in the first half of the fight, and then Bud is doing what he does best and he takes over. So with that being said, I have Bud stopping Israil in 10. But as always, if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit the like button, comment, subscribe, and comment down below what are y'all picks for this card tomorrow, because again, this is a banging card. And again, no picks is guaranteed. All the picks I have right now, they aren't guaranteed tomorrow. Even Terence Crawford. His pick is not guaranteed. A new weight and everything. I'm nervous. But if you are new, make sure you hit that red button that say subscribe and click that bell, and make sure that bell is turned on to all so you don't miss out on any more uploads. And like always, it's your boy Emmy. And as always, hearts. I can't do it being that I have, you know. And I will see you on the next one. Peace.